We are back with Aaron from Flippfly Studios, taking a look at Hexarden. Aaron, it has been a year. Last year we talked to your brother, Forrest. What can you tell us about the progress of Hexarden and exactly what is Hexarden?
So Hexarden is sort of a puzzle game wrapped in an adventure game, I guess. On the most basic level, it's sort of a score-based puzzle game. And so, think of like Threes or Triple Town or even Bejeweled and stuff like that. You're sort of optimizing your play to maximize your score and just getting better at the game over time. And I guess on another level, you're unlocking more stuff throughout the world, and so you're discovering a story and just new areas to explore. And so I think different players will probably find different motivations to play. But it's sort of a score game at its heart, I guess.
Is this your first touchscreen game?
No, actually, our very first project at Flippfly was called Monkey Drum, and it was this musical toy, I guess, for kids. This is our second game, and then Race the Sun was put on iPhone as well. So I guess technically it's our third mobile project.
So mobile's kind of a home for you guys then. You've always been part of just mobile.
I guess so. Monkey Drum was iPad, iOS, and then, Race the Sun came to PC first, and then we brought it to mobile a couple years later. I guess we're familiar with mobile, but more or less we consider ourselves like a multi-platform studio. So, but we try to, when we design a game, we're trying to keep an open mind about the platforms and just, experiment with touchscreens and controllers and mouse and keyboard and just kind of optimize for each. But sometimes an ideal platform and format just kind of emerges. So, to be honest, we've tested on PC and mobile and a variety of platforms, and it's just a lot of people are giving us feedback that they really want to play it on their phone or their iPad or their tablet, and so that's kind of where we're leaning right now, just because it seems like the ideal situation you want to play the game in. You just sit down and pull out your phone for a few minutes, and that seems to be sort of what people expect out of that kind of game, I guess.
Well, so Hexarden, obviously it is a puzzle game of sorts, but you do seem to have maybe a story tucked away somewhere in the background. You don't want to give away too much, I understand, but what can you tell us exactly about that story?
Yeah, it's sort of, I guess we draw inspiration from our own lives, I guess, to a certain degree. And so, we grew up, our mom was a big gardener, and that had a big influence on us. And we kind of just like, being in nature and stuff like that. And so we're building kind of a narrative around some of those inspirations, but it's more or less, we wanted to make a puzzle game, but then wrap something around it that made it a little bit more deep and interesting. So we say it's sort of like a puzzle game wrapped in an adventure narrative to a certain degree.
There definitely seems to be an origami vibe in this game. Did you guys actually stop and create paper origami creatures for the game?
We didn't, actually. I guess we started with more of kind of a low poly inspiration, I guess, and the origami is maybe a happy side effect of that. Forrest has really worked hard to bring the visuals together. We wanted something that was really distinct, I guess, but appealing as well. So I think this is a third version of the visuals that we've had in the game. So we're pretty happy with it at this point.
Well, you've been working on the game, you said, since 2012, and you've definitely gone off to do other projects, but you keep coming back to this one. Why?
Yeah, it was a jam game that I put out, on the Ludum Dare Game Jam back in 2012, and then we actually announced the game, I guess, in 2014. And it's just, there's something about it where we struggled for a while to kind of find the core design that worked, but we always felt like there was just a lot of potential in the whole idea of like a relaxing gardening puzzle game. There's not a whole lot of games that have that theme, and we wanted to do something really different and not shoehorn ourselves into one genre. So it really seemed like a good way to kind of expand our horizons and just the idea of making a cool like evergreen puzzle game that you could play as a hobby was always really appealing to us. So our last game, Race the Sun, was a really intense, high speed racing game, and so we wanted to make something kind of the polar opposite of that. So it's a very chill, relaxing, contemplative puzzle game that you just sort of sit down with and relax with.
It's been a while in the making, but are we finally going to get our hands on Hexarden anytime soon?
We're hoping it'll be this year. No promises, but we're shooting for later this year. So
that would be iOS and Android?
We haven't announced officially the platforms yet, but we're getting a lot of, like I said, we're getting a lot of feedback that people want to play it on mobile. So that's kind of where we're leaning right now, but I'm thinking it'll probably make its way to other platforms as well. So
awesome. Aaron from Flippfly Studios. The game is Hexarden, and you want to keep your eyes open for it, and then have a relaxing time. Awesome. Thank you.